Low, flickering fluorescent lights cast long shadows across the empty terminal. The digital clock on the far wall blinks 10:37 p.m. Ben sits on a battered bench, a crumpled resume clutched tightly in his hand, his suit rumpled from the day. He raises his eyes to a tired display board as it flashes, "Last bus to Ridgeville, departed." The hum of the terminal is punctuated only by the distant rumble of an engine departing and the whine of a swinging door. Ben's shoulders slump.
Perfect, just perfect.
He sighs, defeated, his face falling into his hands as the faint notes of a melancholy piano seem to echo his frustration. Ben stands and steps out onto the bitterly cold street. Streetlights spill yellow halos onto slick pavement, casting his elongated shadow in front of him. He shoves his hands into his coat pockets, suddenly stopping. His face tightens.
No, not tonight.
He spins in place, checking every pocket, panic mounting.
Lost something, or everything.
Ben whirls. A homeless man, lean and gray-bearded, sits hunched by a fire barrel, cupping steaming noodles between his hands. His eyes glint in the firelight, more curious than wary. Ben hesitates, then walks closer, the wind biting through his shirt.
I don't have anything, okay?
Neither do I. That's why I'm offering to share.
He motions to a second cup sitting on the edge of the barrel, warm and waiting. Ben scoffs, but hunger wins. He kneels, knees creaking on the cold pavement. In silence, the two eat. Steam mingles with the cold air. Ben glances sideways.
You always this generous to people who treat you like dirt?
Only the ones who look like they're about to drown.
Ben looks at his hands.
Failed interview, lost my wallet, missed my bus. I'm not drowning, I'm done.
The stranger's eyes crinkle.
You're not done until the dirt's above you.
Ben lets out a breath, a half laugh despite himself. For a moment, the silence feels different, less empty. The night deepens. The stranger stands, stretching, and gestures towards the quiet park behind the terminal.
That's my bed, 4-star luxury.
He points at a battered park bench glittering with frost under the moonlight. Ben follows, uncertainty visible in his shuffle.
You sleep out here every night?
Didn't used to. I had a balcony once, glass stairs, city lights all the way to the river.
Ben's voice softens.
Architect?
The stranger nods, a shadow falling over his face.
Was one mistake, one drink too many, lost my license, then the house, the rest followed.
Ben swallows, words caught behind his tongue. Understanding flickers in his eyes. Ben lies awake on the far side of the bench, the stranger already asleep beside him. The soft wind stirs, tugging at Ben's threadbare suit. He looks at the old man's shivering form and after a long pause quietly lays his jacket over him. A hush settles, the gentle music swelling, hopeful. Light filters through the terminal windows as Ben wakes on a bench, the world touched by morning's gold. Near him, a paper cup waits, a sandwich, a cup of coffee steaming, and a folded note, edges soft. Ben blinks, hesitating. He opens the note, neat, careful script. Try again, one failed day isn't a failed life. R. Ben's lips press together, the weight of kindness filling his chest. Days pass. In a bright corporate lobby, Ben sits, clean-shaven, a fresh shirt beneath his suit. The note is tucked carefully into his resume folder. A receptionist approaches, her eyes kind. Warmly, she says, "Mr. Collins, they're ready for you." A receptionist approaches him, kindness in her eyes. Ben rises, shoulders set, and walks forward with new resolve. A month slips by. Ben enters the terminal once more, the ghost replaced by light and gentle bustle. He moves with purpose, scanning the street. On an old wooden bench, he finds the stranger, the man who changed his night, sleeping under first stars. Ben kneels and gently slides an envelope into the man's torn coat pocket. Carefully, he sits beside him, the trust between them restored in silent gratitude. Images flicker. Ben standing before a boardroom pitching his transitional shelter unit project. Slides glow on the big screen. Modular, affordable homes, hope on stilts. Sketches resemble the stranger's park bench, reimagined with dignity and space. Executives listen, heads nodding, then break into applause, the future unfolding. Message inside the envelope scrawled with conviction. You gave me the night. Let me give you tomorrow. Dawn comes soft. The stranger stands in front of the new shelter, hair neat, gaze bright and cautious. A volunteer steps forward, beckoning him inside with a gentle smile. At the threshold, the stranger pauses, taking in the world as if for the first time, his eyes brim with hope.
Click the like button and subscribe for more such amazing stories.